Chris Winkie was bragging the other day about how big their playbook is. But I believe the offense will have an advantage over the opposing defense for another reason.
You are Locked On Georgia Tech, your daily podcast on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Georgia Tech. I'm your host, Jarvis Davis, and coming up on today's show is the first scrimmage an indicator of what this defense will look like in 2026. We'll also discuss the Yellow Jackets having a secret weapon just waiting to bust seams wide open. But first, Chris Winkie made a little noise the other day talking about how big their playbook is in comparison to all the other Rudy Poo offenses around the country. You know, got 250 plays. Most offenses in college only have 80. You know, people may have taken that personally. But, those people are super, super sensitive. But I don't think that's what folks should be paying attention to, how many plays they have. George Godsey's offense will have an advantage on Saturdays because of the versatility of it. And it starts with the tight end room. You got a guy like Chris Corbo who's going to be just a natural pass catcher for you. He's going to be a leader for you. He's a two-time FCS All-American at Dartmouth. And he totally understands what it takes to have success on this level. Like when you have traits like he has, those things tend to transfer. The ability to catch the football, the ability to stay on the field on rundowns. Those are the type of things that you need to have in order to make it to the next level. And we talked about on the previous pod about how he's a second-rated tight end. In that top 100 list that I laid out the other day. They understand what he brings to the table. Then you couple that with a guy like Gavin Harris, who got an opportunity to showcase what he could do when Corbo was out in the spring. And Alberto immediately established a rapport with him. That first quarter was subpar as a whole. Then he started to find some rhythm. He started finding Gavin Harris. He started finding the big man. And they were able to get things moving. They were able to get things going. So you got two tight ends right there that you can have on the field at the same time. And you can have them in on early downs. Chris Corbo, Gavin Harris. Let me talk about the other two. Spencer Mermans. I highlighted him a little bit early on as when you have a guy who is that good of a blocker, you're almost at the point where you got to find a way to keep him on the field also. And tight end coach Nathan Brock, he understands, or he has the confidence in Spencer to be able to catch the football as well. But we all know what this man is here for. This man is going to be carrying the load as far as the blocking tight end. He's going to be leading the charge on that one. But he has the capability and the versatility to be able to line up in the backfield too. That's the beauty of George Godsey's offense. Not only do you have a lot of plays, but you have a lot of different formations you can give defenses on a weekly basis. It's going to have those guys having to study a lot of film. That's why I'm so interested as to what Godsey throws at Colorado in the first week. It may be a scenario where he throws a whole bunch of different formations and keeps the plays down to a minimum. That's what Buster was so good at. You can run a lot of different plays and, all of that. He can give you a lot of different formations, but the plays and the route concepts, all those things kind of stay the same. Because when you do that, you're looking for a specific look from the defense, and you know that you're going to have an advantage once you get that look. So it's great to throw that big old number out there to say, oh, yeah, we got 250 plays. Oh, man, I better get ready. But, it's something different when you can throw different looks, come out in 12 personnel, 13 personnel. You can run a spread within 12 personnel. You can split Corbo and Harris out wide because those guys are so versatile. You can put Spencer Merman in as a protector, lining up next to the quarterback in the backfield, in the gun. There's so many different looks that you can give defenses. I feel like you're going to have an advantage each and every Saturday. And then you couple that with a guy who has an excellent understanding of this offense, and Alberto Mendoza. He proved that because he was 14 out of 14 with checks at the line of scrimmage. Meaning he came to the line of scrimmage and checked to the play that he was supposed to check to. That lets me know that he has a good understanding of what George Godsey wants to do. And to me, that gives you an advantage over the defense. It means all you have to do is just get lined up, get the ball, and you're going to be able to execute. Because you know what you're looking at, you know where you need to go, and you know what plays, or you're probably going to get a couple of plays that, that you can go to. Hey, if they give you this look, you check to this. If they give you this look, you check to that. And you're going to be in a really good space. So I know a lot of people want to focus on the play, the amount of plays. Oh, my God, there's so many plays. Yes, it is a lot of plays. However, focus on what they can do, what they can show opposing defenses. They can run different formations out of there, and they can spread these tight ends out, split them out wide, and still have a two-way go, meaning they can have a run or a pass. That's what you want to be able to do. Because what doesn't need to happen is to be a one-trick pony. Hey, Haynes, save us. We can't move the ball. It's HK time. I don't think Brent wants to go back to that. So that's why I feel the versatility that George Godsey's offense brings to the table is going to be a nice change up from last year. And I think Tech has an advantage because they're going to be able to do that. All right, coming up next, there's a secret weapon hiding in that tight end room, and he's just chomping at the bit to get this season started. Since 1986, the game has been creating classic college hats that fans are proud to wear. Whether you're an alumnus, current student, season ticket holder, or simply someone who never misses a game. A great college hat is more than just apparel, folks. It's a way to represent your school wherever you go. This year, the game is celebrating its 40th anniversary by giving fans a chance to save on some of their most iconic college hats. If you've been thinking about replacing an old favorite or adding a new one to your collection, now is the perfect time. You know, when it's time to go down to Bobby Dodd, and it's time to play those buffs and show them what time it is on the flats, go and get you a hat so you can be ready to rock out. With hundreds of official licensed hats to choose from, you'll find a perfect fit for game day and every day. Don't miss a chance to celebrate 40 years of the game with 40% off your first order. Visit thegamecaps.com and use promo code LOCKEDON. That means thegamescap.com, promo code LOCKEDON. Celebrate 40 years of the game with 40% off. But don't wait. This anniversary offer won't last forever. I want to give you an opportunity to become part of the Cool Kids. You know that club you're part of when you're in high school? All you have to do is like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us wherever you download your podcast. We understand that there is a pecking order on this offense. And it starts with handing the ball off to Justice Haynes. And once he gets tired, handing the ball off to Malachi Hosley. And then when it's time to pass the rock, find a way to get the ball to Zay Furman and Jordan Allen. But be creative, you know? But not too creative. You don't want to get cute. I don't like cuteness on offense. I'm sorry. It doesn't do anything for me. Keep it simple. Once you establish the run with Justice and Malachi, man, go play action and go up top and find Furman and get the ball in Jordan Allen's hands any way you can. However, there is a secret weapon. And I think the cat is out the bag, so to speak. And Kevin Roche Jr., he's going to be a secret weapon for this team. And he's probably going to last probably a week. Because I feel like the coming out party is going to be on September 3rd against the Buffs. Because he's just that type of guy. I was having a conversation with our Locked On ACC host, Julian Council and Kenton Gibbs. And when I started throwing out measurables for Mr. Roche, say he was 6'9", 265. They were like, Say what? Yes. People don't know. They don't know. And it's okay. It's totally fine. They're going to find out really quickly. Not Julian and Kenton. They'll be watching the game. But the Colorado Buffaloes are going to find out really soon what type of player he is. You know, I posted a video of him going through drills and everything, like, you know. And I know Buffs fans they tend to comment a lot on the videos that I post. Because, you know, they're not used to other people outside of prime selected people posting content from the practice. They're not used to that. So that's why they probably gravitate towards, you know, when I post stuff and when some of the other guys on the Georgia Tech beat post stuff. And that's cool. Totally fine. But Kevin Roche Jr. is going to be a secret weapon because you can just line him up anywhere. He talked about in high school about they should line him up out wide and just go routes. Go get it. He's 6'9". That's Chico. And when you have a guy with that type of talent, you got to come up with a plan for him. Once you get to college, you can get away with that in high school. That's cool and all. Just give him the ball however you can. Throw it up. Fade him up. Go get it. That doesn't necessarily work like that in college. You got to have a plan. Not only a plan on the field, you got to have a plan for off the field. And tight end coach Nathan Brock, said they had a plan for him to be a better blocker. And Kevin said, hey, that's something I had to do. He had to hit that weight room hard, super hard. Because if you want to make it to the next level, you're not going to be good enough to say, hey, I'm cool on that blocking stuff. You got to be able to show your versatility, especially at that size. Oh my gosh, if you can just get your hands on someone and just get in the way and chop your feet and kind of move him, take him where he wants to go, man, you're going to be all right. The reason why I say that, because a lot of times when you have a guy with those capabilities and you see him coming in the game and you're never running the football, that's what we call a dead giveaway. That's what we call being obvious on offense. I know George Godsey don't want to be obvious on offense. No offensive coordinator wants to be obvious on offense. So when you're throwing all these different groupings and personnel packages together, you want to be able to have all 250 plays at your disposal when Kevin is in the game. And as far as the NFL piece, I was having a conversation with someone in the building. And he told me straight up, he's a first-round pick. Period. Not if, or all he has to do is, that man told me straight up, he's a first-round pick. So he has the tools. He understands it. And another thing that I really like about him, and he talked about this in his media availability, he got that want to. Well, what do you mean he got that want to, Jarvis? That man said he wanted the ball more last year. He wanted to be used more. He wanted to be more involved. But it didn't work out that way. Ain't that something? A true freshman saying, man, I should have been used more. And there is no one to disagree with him. That tight end room struggled when the ball came their way. Overall. A lot of inconsistencies in that room. And they weren't utilized that much. So when you have a guy saying, I don't care what type of offense they were running, I needed to get the rock. Because I know what I can do. I know what I bring to the table. And that's the type of guy you can say, hey, he's at least going to be the secret weapon for at least week 1. Because once the film is out on this young man and he starts doing what I think he can do, yeah, that secret weapon stuff is going to be out the door by the time it's time to play Tennessee. Tennessee will know what's coming. That is for sure. All right, coming up next, we'll wrap things up talking about this defense has all the confidence in the world. Could they be dominant? Could they go from being subpar to a strength on this team? We'll talk about all that next right here on Locked On Georgia Tech. This episode of Locked On Georgia Tech is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting the home run today, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. It's easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their game. If you're right, you receive a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. Daily Dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with every day's game. Whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league, every game, someone has the capability of going deep. Now you get the chance to make your prediction before first pitch. You know who I'm making my prediction with? Matt Olson. That is a safe one in my eyes. But that dude is just absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. So, are you ready to play your game today? Join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. Don't forget that you take Locked On Georgia Tech on the road with you wherever you download your podcast, and wherever you download your podcast, make sure that you leave us a 5-star review. Really appreciate that from you in advance. It is because of you that we're now the #1 sports podcast network in America, in the country, in the world, in the galaxy. Just straight dominating, baby. Speaking of dominating, that's how the defense started off. 3 straight stops in the scrimmage. Is this something that we can look forward to in the beginning of the year with this defense? Is that the improvement that we're going to see? I don't know if they're going to be that dominant. And even if they aren't dominant, I feel that they've done, from a preparation standpoint, from a roster construction standpoint, they've done all they can do for this defense to be better. Scratch that. Much better than what they were last year, specifically against the run. That's why I believe Brent Key is confident. That's why I believe Jason Semore is confident. That's why I believe Kobe Jones, Kyle Pope, Jess Simpson, all of those guys. Every last one of them. Linebacker coach Jason Semore, everybody. Everybody is confident. Because they have the personnel. They have the bodies. They have the guys who are capable. It's just all about going out there and execute. The portal guys that they brought in, Jordan Walker, who was an absolute monster. The strongest guy on the football team. Full stop. Let's see how it transfers this year. He came in from Rutgers. Last year, he had a decent year. And now it's time to prove it. It's time to put it all out on the line. Vincent Carroll-Jackson out of UConn. Tawfiq Thomas out of Colorado. It's time for those guys to go out there and do it. They put in the work. And you gave you a little peek of it. We didn't get a chance to see it at the scrimmage. But they showed you, hey, we here. We're trying to do something here. We're getting in our run fits, even though we're not tackling to the ground. We're beating our man, getting off blocks up front. And tagging out. Say, hey, yeah, that would have been a TFL. Yep, I'll take that. Appreciate you. That's where these guys are. That's where these guys are right now. They are setting themselves up to have success. Because once you become better at stopping the run on first and second downs, you get the opportunity to let those stingers loose on third and long. And that's where the party really gets started right there. You have a Jordan Walker coming off the edge. You have a Noah Carter coming off the edge. A.J. Hoffler, Braden Manley. Those guys are super deep at the edge spot. So having a good showing in this scrimmage to start off, I feel like it's a little bit of a message there. It lets me know that these young men are understanding the assignment. They get it. It's go time. We are less than 2 weeks away, folks. Yes. Less than 2 weeks away. It is time. It's time to get excited. Because it's almost game time. And I think this defense understands it. This linebacker core understands what's at stake. The secondary understands what's at stake. And it's fascinating that these corners are still pushing. These young corners, Jayden, Terry, Trey, Stevenson, they're still pushing for playing time. They're still trying to get themselves set on the depth chart. That's nothing but a good thing. You know why? You're not coasting into the season. Guys still believe that, man, I'm out here trying to fight for every snap that I can possibly get because I believe it's there. It's there for the taking. That's one thing I appreciated so far about this training camp. It's a lot of competition. A lot of competition. So not many guys that's in here like, yep, I'm good. I'm cool. I got my spot. Nah. I think those days are over. And I wholeheartedly believe it's because Jason Semore has come in here, set the tone. Here's my vision. Here's what I want. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the ball away. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to play man-to-man. And if you don't fit into that, we'll see. And I believe from that day, Semore got full buy-in. All right, that'll do it for Locked On Georgia Tech. If you haven't done so, make sure you give me a follow on all social platforms at Locked On Georgia Tech. And if you haven't done so, like and subscribe to Locked On Georgia Tech. Hit that bell so you get a notification every time an episode drops, baby, so you don't miss anything. For those of you on video, we send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, make sure you make your second listen, Locked On College Basketball with Isaac Shade and my main man, Andy Patton. It's all part of Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every day.